Hey dude, so I've just got a quick video update for you. I know that many of you have been jumping into the comments of my previous video where I kind of did a full 9.0.2 Feral Druid guide for the first, like initial weeks of Shadowlands and whatnot. And many of you have jumped into the comment section and asked, okay, now that Blizzard has just made this Convoke the Spirits change, how does that affect us now? What covenant are we going for? And I just wanted to outline what the change was and then how this is kind of going to impact my decision on covenant. So Blizzard have put out a blue post. So they have commented and said, once again, quick note on some recent changes to Convoke the Spirits since they can be hard to see immediately in game. In addition to once again casting 16 spells for Balance, Feral, and Guardian, so this is up from 12. Originally, when this ability was implemented, it was 16 spells. It then got nerfed down to 12. It's now been buffed back up again to 16 spells. And when it was at 16 spells, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Night Fae was like pumping. So this is fantastic that they've kind of bumped it back up to 16. But it says Convoke will now try to use a more consistent number of certain spells. Currently, Star Surge and Ferocious Bite. So Star Surge if you're in Balanced Druid form or Moonkin form, and Ferocious Bite if you're in Cat form. Then it will choose to use these spells more often, which is really, really good news as well, because those are your hardest hitting abilities in those situations. So that's great news as well. It's because Convoke is very random, right? It has a very random nature to it. So this is good that we're going to be getting more Ferocious Bites, because sometimes, I mean, I was saying in that video previously uploaded that, and by the way, you should check out that video for the full-length guide, but I was saying that some Convokes you would do 20k damage and some you would do 50k. This should help, kind of bring in the outliers a little bit more and make it, more consistent overall. And its behavior is, as always, influenced by various factors such as the number of targets in range and their health and dot status. So obviously, if they already have dots on them, then it's not going to reapply Rake and Moonfire and whatnot if the mob is already suffering from that. It will look for a new target to use those abilities on if it is going to opt to use those abilities. I don't know the inner workings of how the ability, like how it chooses what ability to do. There must be some kind of algorithm, obviously, that Blizzard has implemented, but I don't know how that actually operates. I don't know if anybody does. I'm sure somebody out there can probably figure it out. But yeah, so it will also look to like heal people as well. So you want to be smart with when you're using your Convoke and making sure that like everyone's at full health, so it shouldn't look to hot anyone up. But nah, it's all good there. And then when in a relevant shapeshift form, the number of casts of Star Surge and Ferocious Bite during Channel Convoke will have much less variance than before. So that's good. So it should be, not only are you going to get more Ferocious Bites and Star Surges, but they're going to be like less, with the less variance. I assume that to mean that you're going to consistently get, say, 4 Ferocious Bites. And every time you're going to get between 3 and, like, every time you're going to get between 3 and 5. You're never going to get a situation where you only get 1 or 2. You're never going to get a situation where you get 7, right? I think that's where they're trying to aim it at, as just a more consistent. And like from my testing, it seems to be around about 4. Also, seems to be like the average number that it will hit. So that's a good sign. This is a good change. I'm happy with this change. Now, in terms of how this affects my covenant choice, this means that I'm pretty much 100% locked into Convoke. Unless any changes occur now within the next couple of days. I mean, it's Saturday today. Shadowlands is releasing on Monday. So unless anything changes between now and then, I am looking to lock in Night Fae as my choice. This buff was enough for me. I was a bit on the fence where I was like, well, I know in my head that Kyrian is the better choice, so I probably should opt for that. But this now has solidified it as like, okay, if Night Fae isn't absolutely the best now, it's got to be pretty close. So I'm happy to commit into taking Convoke. It's still going to have the same issues of not scaling too well on AoE, but we are going to have that benefit of jumping into Moonkin form and then Convoking, and then that every 2 minutes whenever there's like a big massive pull. And let's face it, most big pulls that you do in, say, Mythic Plus only happen every 2 minutes anyway. Like, you're not going to be doing massive pulls like every single pull, because people have cooldowns, and 2 minutes is a pretty reasonable cooldown length. So you should be able to jump into Moonkin Convoke every big pull really in a key, or every other big pull at least. So it should be pretty good. And I'm positive with that. And then by doing that, you'll be casting Starfall, and you'll be able to Sunfire, and you'll get your full moons and stuff. So it's a positive outlook for Night Fae and Convoke. This pretty much locks in that I am going to be going Night Fae. Though I don't know that this 100% makes Night Fae absolutely the best. I mean, there are people running sims and doing the numbers, but for me, this is enough to say I'm going Night Fae. Apart from that, I will see you all on Monday. I will be live streaming, so make sure that you come and check out the stream on Monday night. We're going to be hanging out, having a chill time. I'll probably end up doing like a 24-hour stream or so. And yeah, like I said, if you guys aren't watching, you're just going to be playing. That's great. Make sure you eat well. Make sure you drink water. Make sure you look after yourself. Exercise regularly. Do your posture checks, all that kind of stuff, and enjoy yourselves. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.